this is Retired Geek Woman with Adventures with Rhiannon, Kynseed Retired Slow Play, part number 15. And we're going to take off right where we left off. Those other saves you see on there, one is a personal one that I just, when I first was kind of playing around, and then I have another one going to kind of experiment with a few things. But this is the one that I am sharing with you. And I have a certain goals in mind here. I mean, this is kind of a new game. If you haven't watched any episodes before, this game was released in the first week of December of 2022. And I'm recording this in March of 2023. So it hasn't been out very long. And it's kind of a first for me to share a game that hasn't been out very long. Because as a general rule, I don't play games that just come out. I mean, I'm kind of crazy about that. I play games that have been out for years. So I think the last time I played a game when it first came out was Skyrim, which was over 11 and a half years ago. So for me, it's unusual to do this. And not only that, I'm playing it and recording it and showing it to you guys. So I'm really standing out on the edge here. So what I'm doing here is getting my things planted. A previous goddess week, I had chosen to get seeds from weeds, and oh my gosh, that makes me want to not do anything but gather the seeds, because they're free seeds. I mean, all you gotta do is hit the weeds with your sickle thing, whatever it is, and you get seeds all over the place. So you can see I have a lot. I love planting on rainy days for this very reason. It's watering the crops automatically. And it seems like, from what I've seen, that it rains pretty much enough that you don't have to water things, even though some things need no watering at all, or need one watering when you first plant them. Other things would require watering, but it rains quite a bit, which I love. I love it. I wish it rained even more, because I love the sound of it. And yes, I think I was playing the other day, and I had my headset on, and had my volume turned up really loud, and it had the most awesome thunderstorm in game. It's like, oh my gosh, I love rain to the maximum in real life. And in other videos that I've recorded in the summertime, right now it's in the spring, but in the summertime, I have absolutely the best thunderstorms where I live. And so I open my sliding glass door, and I'm sure that at some point you're all going to hear storms that are not in the game. They are in my real life, and I just absolutely love them, the sound of them. I find rain to be super peaceful, and according to my research, that means I am what is called a pluviophile, and look that up sometime if you want to get a chuckle. So anyway, it's raining in game, it's watering my crops, which makes me happy, and I'm just planting. And look at all this wheat down here. This is awesome. Wheat can be used to be ground into flour, which you can use for baking. So I like it that I can do that. And you can see how many I had. There was just tons of them. And that was all from using my sickle. So today is the 8th day of summer in year number 6. I'm going to really try to show you guys that near the beginning of a video. I really am. I'm not doing very good at it, but it's going to be a goal so you can see where I'm at in the game. Because I could be a place that, you might have not seen before. Or I might be at a place that you're not interested in and you want to look further ahead. This is where I'm at. So I had picked up a few tasks, and I'm going to go check some of them out. It's really a good idea to check your calendar every single day in the game. And I am not very good at that, but I'm trying to do that, because you can miss events. What I have learned about the events that go on, the festivals, different things like that, is that you don't want to miss them. Also, I want to stop by and check out this dude. I want to buy any recipes that he has. I also am buying the pork chops and the chicken drumsticks and the flour, because those are things I don't really have. That's a flagfish pie recipe, so I'm going to try to buy all of them as much as I can. You don't want to miss these festivals, and you want to go to them. You get reputation for them. And even if let's say there's a contest for food. I'm trying to think of something. There was one that I saw for bringing your best vegetable that you've grown, right? Or that you found. And you go to the thing, you turn in your items. Even if you don't win, you still get stuff. You get reputation points, and they give you free stuff. So it is totally worth it, and you're going to be seeing some of that because I'm going to start doing it. Just kind of a side note, rainy days, apothecary got a perk point. On rainy days, you can catch rainfish, which seem to be good sellers in the shop. So I'm gonna grab those and try to hang on to them. And if I can't sell them, if I don't get my shop right away, then I can sell them from the shelf in the shop. The shops have a certain amount of money where you can sell things, and that's what I did in the early game. I did this in the they call it a prologue in the beginning, where you're a child for quite a while. I forget how long it is, and I was able to take fish that I did just what I'm doing right now, sell it in the shop, just in this little Candlewick village right there, and I had quite a few brass on me by the time I was an adult already, so I didn't start off broke. So that's one way you can make money. And at the present moment, this shop here that I work with, that I've been working with, the goods shop, has 25 brass. So every single day I could get 25 brass because that's how much fish I can sell. So we're going to head on down here. We're looking for Wurzel Scrumpy. I do believe he lives down here somewhere. You can't see, I don't have my map opened up yet. You got to go around and hit those map stones that you see around, and so I haven't done that in a lot of locations, but we'll get to that. Don't worry, it's coming. We'll get them all open. Also, whenever you're better friends with families, they will let you raid their property and take their stuff. You can't until you're friends. Exception is eggs. You can run around and take eggs. I don't know why that's the one thing that you can. So I'm looking for Wurzel. Let's see who we got here. There he is. I don't know what they look like yet. He needed a carrot, and I have 57 of them, so we can give him one. There you go, Wurzel. The Scrumpies are really an unhappy bunch. They start off with reputation in the pit. So it's like you got to work on these guys. And it said talk, and it says, okay, what's happening? Oh, if somebody's feeling mischievous, I do not want to do mischievous tasks. It just doesn't feel right for my character. I never want to play a character that does mischievous things to other people. And so I'm going to ignore those kind. She needs a bunch of items. I also decline those. What that is they'll want like 3 or 4 or 5 different items, and they want a ton of them. So at this point in the game, I don't have a lot of things, and I also need it for other stuff. So I'm not going to do those kinds of tasks for the most part. Maybe later on. I've tried to delete those from my quest log so that I don't have them on there. I don't like my quest log getting all jumbled up with a bunch of stuff. I don't like to have to scroll because I can miss things too easily. So you can see I only have 5 things showing up, and one of them is the main storyline. So this is the Proverbs. This is where you walk around, you pick up Proverbs, and it tells you about things. So it can tell you where to find stuff, and you can click on them to see which Proverbs you have found on a certain item. So obviously there's missing a ton of them. I heard someone say there are over 900 Proverbs in this game, which is just mind-boggling to me. 900 Proverbs. So again, if you are one of those people that wants goals, you can make it a gold ancient clock. Look at that. That would be hard to get otherwise. If you are a person who wants goals, then one of the things you can do is try to find all the Proverbs in the game. And I don't know if it will tell you that you found them or not. So don't know. I want to say hi to Teresa here real quick. See if we need to give her gifts. I think we're already best friends with her. But giving her something she likes help her does a better job working the counter. So that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. It seems like it does. But she gave me a secret. My most liked item is strawberry jam. Again, I'm micromanaging here. We've already got 84 profit already today. That is fantastic. I was very happy to see that. Again, I can't go back there and make stuff, but she's selling stuff, and I wanted to double check. And if I need to order anything, running out of parsley, running out of mint, running out of bowing Mary, and it's all going to be here soon. So we're going to go ahead and order sunflower. So I want to make sure I'm making sure that I'm ordering the items that we're using a lot of. and checking our relationships here, checking our perk points. We have 1 right now. I kind of want to save it. I like to have the stock delivery, especially the apothecary. I want to have my stock delivery. Oh, look, Lucy Arrows is no longer red-faced, so that's a good thing. I want to keep my apothecary is one that you really want to keep your stock ordered, and obviously go around and find stuff and bring it in, because that's 100% profit on that. But you definitely want to keep that stocked up, because they're going to go to the back room, like she's going back there and she's going to make something. You can see, if you stand there and watch, you can actually see what she's making. So anyway, I'm going to micromanage my shop at some point. I may not, but for right now, let's see, what does she want? Oh, she wanted something I didn't want to do. So sorry, Teresa Green. I got to go with you. So even though she doesn't like me, she's polite. I had knocked those things off the trees when I went by there. I had knocked them off, and I was like, I better go get them. I started to walk over here and thought, oh, the fish. I like fishing off of this little area right here. You get good fish if they'll come to you. A 3-star coin tail. Yes, thank you so very much. And again, I am absolutely all over that. And get that one too. Sometimes the fish are hard to catch in this area right here, but and again, sometimes the ripple has an opposite effect of what you would want. They don't come to you. So anyway, we are getting things done here. And our fast travel, we use an apple. It takes apples for this, so I try to make sure that I have plenty of apples on hand. I generally don't give them away as gifts to people, because you need them for fast traveling. Eventually there's other ways of fast traveling, but this is the only way I have right now, so I don't have a problem using it as long as I have apples, and I do. This is a really good area for getting charmweed. That was called, yeah, charmweed. And so I like to try to come up here as often as I remember, which is not very often, and pick it up. We know that attribute is charm, and it does other things, but that's what I like to use it for, and because I remember it easily, and it's easy to get if I just come up here, which I forget. And again, I'm going to see what kind of fish I can get here, and it's just a weed skimmer, which again, it's not, I think I only get 1 brass for it, but it at least puts inventory in my shop. Obviously, higher price fish will be more useful, but for right now, I just want to get as much as I can so that when I open the shop, I can stock it with fish as much as possible. And of course, getting bloodfew and charmweed, so that's good. And I'm really kind of just learning my way around, trying to get these areas opened up, make sure I meet people as I come across them. It's not a hard, fast thing that I want to meet everybody as quickly as I can, but if I come across them, of course, I'll introduce myself. And you can see the homesteads I haven't found all of the, another bloodfew. I haven't found all of the map stones in here yet. And, I don't know the names of the areas very well. I know there's Vale, and that's kind of the first area you start. This area is called Summerdown, and I haven't met everybody here. I haven't opened up all of the maps yet, but I'm kind of looking for ingredients and stuff while I'm walking along. And also, if I happen to see a fish, then I may stop and try to grab it real quick, because I know you can catch different fish in different areas, and there's lots of things affect the kind of fish you can catch. A salmon, all right. Oh yes, I think we need salmon. So we're going to just, like I said, there's lots of things that affect your fishing and what you catch. Location is one of those things. Weather is one of those things. Your skill is one of those things. Oh, look at that. Double salmons. Yes, yes, yes. I was very happy to see that. So there's lots of things. So to me, this fishing would never get boring, because you've always got to go at different times, different locations, different weather, different seasons. So I think that's kind of fun. Oh my goodness, look at all of that. Whew. Wow. And I double checked my skills, and let's see, I need 2-star pike and 3-star, or I see I've already got that, or do I have that? No, I don't. So I need 4 more of those, and I've got 3. So I need to work on pikes, and river trouts I've already done, and I think the other one's minnows, and this is what salmon, that's what it was. I need 5 and I have 5. So when I check my skills like that, I want to, as much as possible, get those fish turned into Twig, because if I forget, then I'll go put them for sale in the general store, and that would not be a good thing. I don't want to sell things that I actually need, and I'm not friends enough to take your stuff, but we're going to work on it. That's another reason to work on relationships, is so you can take anything that's on someone's property. When you have, it says access granted, when you click on their homestone, that means you can take all their stuff. Poppy Hill, I've opened the map up all of the way, so that's cool. I haven't met everybody in this area, as you can see, but we'll get to it. Again, I am not in a big rush to finish this game in any way, shape, or form, and I'm just enjoying myself. Here's another homestone. We haven't even met anybody that lives in that house yet. So I'm just enjoying it. I've learned a term that I never knew existed. Didn't know what it was called. It was called a chill game. Here's another person to introduce myself to. And a chill game is a game where you can relax and play it. So to me, what would be the point of playing a chill game and power gaming it? I do not see the point in doing that. I mean, I guess you can take a chill game and make it something that you want to min-max and power through. And I've been watching some playthroughs where it's like, wow, I can't believe how far they've gotten. And they are, they don't even have, their children haven't grown up yet. And they're certainly not anywhere close to being 50 years old. So, they're almost done with the content. And I just don't see the reason for that. Unless, let me re-say that. Especially one of the ones that I've watched, I can see the reason of it, because I can see what can be done by watching their video. Now I'm going to take my time and just enjoy it and do it at my own pace in my own way. So that's what I do, and that's what I'm sharing with you. And that's what I share with my subscribers every single day, is something that we're going to chillax. Now there are some games that aren't as chill, like Skyrim, for instance. And maybe that's one reason why I get so tired of Skyrim after a while, and I have paused my playthrough on it, because it's a little bit stressful. And I don't want to be stressed out when I play. So I don't know, maybe that's why. I've been asked if I'm going to continue the series. I do intend to continue the series. I can't tell you when. It's like when a game hits me and I'm ready to play again, then I'll play it. And that's all I got to say about that for right now. For right now, I'm playing this game. I'm also playing Stardew Valley at the same time. And if you check my community tab, there is a information on the games that I'm playing. There's also an About tab that shows you my upload schedule. And I'm going to go back to the community tab a second. Anytime I have an announcement for y'all, it's going to be on the community tab, because that's how I can communicate with you. And so that's where I'm going to tell you if I'm going to change games, I'm going to add a game. I do polls, I do announcements. I've just recently, like I said before, I posted pictures of my beautiful new kittens. So you're going to see things like that. And then my About tab has my upload schedule. And at the time of this recording, I am doing Stardew Valley on Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. American Eastern Time. And then I'm doing Kynseed on Wednesdays at 11 Eastern Time. And if I ever have a change to my schedule, it'll be on my community tab. As you can see, we are just walking around this area exploring, and I'm seeing a lot. I picked up a bunch of proverbs. I picked up a bunch of ingredients. This is Nadia's Glory. We haven't really been around here very much yet. And so, is that a primrose? Yes, it is. So I'm just kind of walking around, getting all this stuff picked up and kind of wandering around and getting, all right. I tell you, I love the sound and feel of the map stones. It is so satisfying to hear that big booming noise. And I've got this volume turned down so that it doesn't, so you can hear me talking. Here's there's a recipe for gooseberry jam. Oh my gosh. So I got that turned down, but that to me, that mapstone thing is so well done. I love that feeling. I mean, you can almost feel it rumble in your body when that happens. So I just love it. I'll be really bummed when I've done all the mapstones in the whole game because I won't be able to enjoy that feeling and sound again. So as you can see, you can click through homes, date spots, locations, all kinds of things by clicking on that upper left-hand thing. And what I was looking for is, how do I get out of here? So where's my Druida statue? It says it's over this way. And so also I've been running around trying to look at books, and as you saw me, got a bunch of proverbs, and so eventually we'll get to know these folks through here a little bit better as time goes on. Again, no rush. We're going to be fine. And travel around. Again, I try to go home. Whatever. If I'm doing something and I'm out and about, that's okay. But I do want to try to get home at some point and get into bed for an hour. That saves your game. So I want to make sure that I get my game saved on a regular basis, and so that's what I'm doing now. And headed for home. It's 10 p.m. I got things I can do around the farm at 10 p.m. And I can fish. I could. Like I saw it right down here, there's 3 different fishing locations on your farm. I saw these fish over here and thought, hey, let's kind of grab these guys and see what we get. Yeah, weed skimmers, sure, why not? And it's like, come on. The ripple works sometimes for the fish and sometimes not. I don't really understand why, because it'd be the same kind of fish that'll run away from the ripple that is attracted to it the next time. So I haven't figured that out yet. I don't know. I don't know. So right up there you saw was the Kynseed. It's planted in the ground. It will expand once I get married. It will show Ash as being my spouse, and then as we have children, oh, a moonfish, awesome. As we have children, it will show the children on there as well. So pretty cool. Again, it's an interesting concept in the game. I don't know that I've played a game like this that does show, aside from The Sims or something like that, which I've played for a gazillion years since Sims 1. I don't think I've seen a game like this where you live through your generations and you basically become them. There's right there a whistle root, and it's on your property. There's one of 2 places that I know of. I know there's other ones. A nightberry, finally. And you want to hit it with your slingshot if you can. So I don't know. Maybe there are other games like this that do have generations, but this is the first one that I've played outside of The Sims where you basically live through your generations. I just find that to be an interesting concept. And I'm really eager to get to that point, but not in a rush to get to that point, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's 1 a.m. and I'm just trying to fish out all the fish from this pond. I think that if I turn my light on, it kind of chases them away. So I'm just trying to get them all fished out and put them in my pack. And it's like, come on, guys. So these guys, again, these are the same fish that I've been catching all along, and they're avoiding the ripple. So I just don't understand why that is. So, irregardless, I want to try to fish. I can see there's a couple that are in there. There's a weed skimmer. I can see that they're in there, and they're driving me crazy because they won't get on my fishing rod and go in my pack. It's like, come on, let's go. Oh my gosh. If you are new to Kynseed, you may not know that if you only played the beginning part, as a child, you had to get in bed by a certain time, or you would fall asleep wherever you were. But as an adult, you don't have to sleep. I kind of like to, for a couple of reasons. For one thing, when you sleep, it saves your game. And for the other thing, it's for role-playing purposes. Plus, it helps remind me that I need to go over and feed the brownie bowl. So I don't, like I've mentioned before, and I don't know if I have in this particular video, I don't like being out at night because I really cannot see very well. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I can get a lot more done if I don't sleep for, 6 or 8 hours. So I knew there was a fish in there. It's like, come on, where are you? I can't see you, but I know you're there. So anyway, I do stay out kind of late. You can see it's 3 a.m. I don't do that all the time, but just every once in a while. There's a weed skimmer. Every once in a while I do stay out kind of late, especially when I get back to the homestead and I know that I can do this fishing. I can grab those whistle roots. And if I get home in time, I can get the nightberry if it's the right season that I have down off to that one side. I don't know, to the, I guess if you're looking at a map, it would be the far east side of the property. You can see I'm just grabbing these weed skimmers that we're going to be able to use eventually and kind of tuck them away. So got a lot done in those few hours there after we got home. So, you know, got some fish, got some whistle root, I think. And so anyway, and we got the mail. It's like, oh, let's see. And then it's like almost, I'm not an ADD person, but it's like almost I'm acting that way because I saw that our fruits were ready on our bushes here and using the slingshot to get it. And there's mail. Festfield Food Festival. You've been cordially invited to participate in Quill's annual Festfield Food Festival. Say that 4 times in a row. 12th day of summer. So I mentioned this in a previous episode that we're going to start to go to some of these festivals and participate and they put it on our calendar, and so that's good. And what it does is it's basically a food, in this case it's a food contest. So we go to the place we're supposed to go to before 3 p.m. and then we go back after 3 p.m. and they will have told who won the food festival. So I found that you get reputation points and you get some goodies when you do this. So we're going to be participating in some of these, and not all of them because I don't have time for everything, but we'll try to get some of them anyway and find out which ones we enjoy and see how it goes. I figured the food one shouldn't be too hard. It's not cooked food. It's just, I believe it's like fruits and vegetables and things like that. So I thought, well, let's give it a try. Who knows? I mean, I've never done one before this, so I thought it might be fun to give it a try and see how it goes. You can see it's pouring down rain. It's watering our crops. So I'm really glad that we get a lot of rain in this game, pretty much enough to where you don't have to water the crops that require watering every day. You get enough that they kind of continue to grow on their own. At least that's my perception. I could be proved wrong. This, again, is a relatively new game, so who knows? That seems to be the case. As with any new game, it's really important to keep an eye on things when they do an update and see what has changed. Got ourselves a 1-star pike. Because things change, like when I was talking about in a previous episode, I was talking about the relationship you have with your employees and the pay requirements. Because when I first started playing, you could pay them 1 gold and it didn't make any difference. And I had one of the devs on the Discord channel, which they do monitor that, they do answer questions when they can. They confirmed that it didn't make any difference at the time that I was playing. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, there had been a couple of updates and all of the employees are mad-faced and unhappy when you hire them. And it's like, okay, what has changed with this? And so I believe that, now the money makes a difference. So you've got to, if you want your employees to be happy, you have to do a number of things to make that happen. Oh, here's our traveling trader. So I'd like to buy the chicken and the pork chop and flour and any recipes they have. That way, those are things that are hard for me to get right now. I'm not going to buy a bunch of chickens. I'm not going to kill chickens to get the drumsticks. I'm not going to blow up my pigs, which is how you get the pork chops. So that's why I buy those things. They're easy to get. Checking to see anything that's under 10 right now, I'm going to order. And you can see that we're doing pretty good. We got more materials coming in. And there are a few things in the shop that for sale. It'd be nice if I could make a couple more things. The more things that I have sitting on that shelf back there, that is good because the employees can turn right around, grab the remedy for the customer and hand it to them and sell it to them very quickly, and that helps your reputation because they're getting very fast, the customers are getting very fast service. So that's where I'm going to that is why I'm going to try to make things anytime I can, either at night or in the morning times before the shop opens. My shop opens, I think at this point in the game, it's opening at 9 o'clock. I thought, well, I could make at least one. And try to get that on the shelf, and I love seeing that I'm making good profit. I have been making profit every single day that this store has been open so far, and I think it's going to be a good money maker. Look at that, a 4-star one. That is awesome. And so I was thinking about when I first started playing, being a shop owner, I thought it would be fun. And on the Discord channel, someone said if you are just starting out, you might consider the apothecary. It can make money really quickly in the beginning. So I went ahead and purchased this one, and I think that they are right, that for the most part, unless you want to be very, very, very hands-on, meaning you want to be working the counter when the stores are open, whatever store you have, then the apothecary is, to me, the easiest. You don't have to make these potions like I'm doing. I don't think my profits would be as good. I don't think I would get as much reputation, but if as long as you keep your shelf stocked with ingredients for your employees to be able to make potions and things, then I think it kind of handles itself pretty much. So as opposed to some of the other stores. I'm not sure about the general store. I think it kind of handles itself. We'll find out more about that later. I've seen the blacksmith seems to make a ton of money if you are into doing blacksmithing. As you can see, my store is now opened, and I wanted to give Teresa a gift. I'm trying to get those hearts up to full hearts with her, because supposedly that helps. If your relationship with your employees is good or high, then it does help. So I thought, well, let's give her something like that. 13 friendship points for a strawberry. I had like a 3 or 4 star. I think it was a 3-star. And she's gonna, the old woman who lives in a shoe is an orphan herself. That's a very interesting statistic. We made 113 yesterday. We've already made 19 today. Of course, it doesn't take into consideration until the end of the day the employee pay. So what I was looking at here to say, okay, what am I selling the most of? And you can't really look at the ingredients because those are things I'm buying or taking or purchasing. But I'm looking at the other things. There was a wound, something called a wound or whatever, strained. So I'm looking at both the profit and the reputation points that I'm getting, and I started to walk away, and it said I had a shop delivery. So I was like, cool, let's go back and look. So I've got my shop deliveries are a little bit staggered, and that's okay. I wanted to kind of put in as much of the ingredients that I had found as I could. I kind of like to hang on to at least 1 or 2 of them, just because someone may request one as a quest item. So I'm just kind of hanging on to things, and also looking how many I already have. I have 28 knob teeth, and so we're getting a lot of those. We had both from our adventures in the forest, as well as our little dog Digger digs them up too. Those are great for virility, and so it's an easy, free ingredient. Spirit essence, we picked off that tree out there. We've not found any other than that, so I'm kind of wanting to hang on to that if I can. And of course, thyme. We've got plenty of thyme in the ingredient cabinet. Here's some whistle root. I kind of want to keep that in there. That's the one we pick up at night on our farm. So we don't have a lot of that, but I like to have it on there anyway. And I was saying, okay, maybe we should start ordering anything that's under 20, or should we stick with 10? I decided to stick with 10. Eventually, if I'm under 20 of any given item, I will order more. And then I happened to notice, standing right here at the counter, I believe, was our other employee. So I was going to try to talk to her and give her something, but if someone is standing at the counter being waited on, you can't talk to them. So I was hoping to be able to give her a gift. So my next task for Marriage with Ash Brown is take your partner to visit a place. And what this is along your adventures, you will see something that pops up and it says you've discovered a date spot. And on your map, if you look at a map of an area, town, or whatever these would be called, then you'll see spots that you have actually just walked across, and it will mark it as a date spot. And so whenever I go down and talk to Ash, I will have him follow me, and he'll give me a spot that he wants to have a date at. And hopefully you have already been to that spot and you know that spot. I don't know what happens if you don't, if you haven't been there. I'm not sure. Haven't seen that happen, and I only dated one person. I've only attempted to marry one person, so I don't have a whole lot of experience to share with you. So what I'm doing is looking and saying, okay, where is my guy Ash? And there he's supposed to be at the keeper's cottage on the burial grounds, and he moved there, if you do recall. And don't forget to pick up that blood feud that's almost always right there. So let's go see if he's around. Where is he? And he's not there. If I'm at the right place. And I'm at the right place. So, oh my gosh. I don't know where he's at. There he is. I don't know where he goes otherwise. So what you do is you click on the person that you want to go with you and you tell them, let's go. And he says, I'm going to go to the Wuthering Pond in Candlewych West. So he's giving us the location of where he wants to go. So right now we're at their burial grounds. Candlewych West is directly north of where we are. So we should be able to figure it out. And you can see they just kind of follow you along. And they'll keep following you until you tell them to stop. Well, other people do. I don't know about this date situation. So let's see. Trying to figure out, and I wasn't being too smart about it. I was saying, okay, he said some kind of pond. Was it over here? So what I should have done, and hopefully I will show it to you, is I will click on show me the date spots, and because on the left hand you can have it show you locations, homes, and date spots. And once you get to the right spot or get close to it, there'll be a circle around it, little stars basically, and it will show you that you're in the right place. And also the person you're with will slow down, so sometimes you got to watch that. If you're rushing, if they slow down, then you may not see what they have to say to you. So you gotta take it slow in this game. It's really important to take it slow. So here I'm like, okay, what am I doing? So I'm not displaying very smart right here, but that's okay. So there we go. Date spots. There it is. It's all the way at the very bottom corner of the map. It's like, why didn't I do that to begin with? Well, because it was the first time that I was trying to find a date spot for someone that we were on a date with, because I only did it one time. So there it is. See those circle-y things, and he just whistles and he says, this is nice. So okay, this was great. I'll see you on day 7 when you have made the binding band. So I guess that means that Ash is okay to marry me. So now we have to wait for the next day's task. So the one for today is done. Previous episode, I have mentioned this, or maybe even earlier in this episode, that you have to really keep an eye on that if you're wanting to do the marriage ritual. There's a book that we picked up in Lover's Wood, I think it's called, that you can how to marry someone, and it tells you these steps. The first step is you pick up the white rose on what would be Sunday, and you give it to them on Monday. So each day has a task, and you just follow it along. If you miss a day, if you mess up, then you're going to have to start all over again. So so when you're ready to do this, you need to focus. It needs to be a big focus. That's why you saw me take off pretty quick and go find Ash and get that out of the way so I didn't forget or get sidetracked. This game is making ADD people of all of us, because there's so much stuff to do. There's so many fun things to do. It's hard to even get into a routine, which I like. In my real life and in my gaming life, I like to get kind of a routine and do similar things every day, and especially, you know, my chores and things like that. It's really hard to stay on focus on this because there's just so much to explore, so many things to do, and it's just such a delightful game. And it's a very chill game if you want it to be. I love that new term that I learned. You can take it easy and do it a little bit at a time, and you know, there's nothing that you have to rush. The only thing you need to do in this particular instance is if you're going through the marriage ritual, you need to get those tasks done each day. And that's it. You know, it's just, you know, that's all there is to it. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to see if we can get Ash as our spouse and see how all of that goes. And then you can see I just like, oh, there's fish. I'm going to stop and fish some more. We're getting cointail today. That's fine. Only 1 star, but you know, they have pretty good value if you try to sell them. So we're just going to get what we can. There we go. All right. We got a whole bunch of cointail. And let's see, just seeing, it's like, did I talk to him? Yes, I did. And what are we doing? We have 834. Look at that, 834. And I don't know what the heck I'm thinking here. I was hitting the wrong key is what I was thinking. But I have 834. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like, oh yeah, I haven't given her a gift today. So let's give Teresa a gift. And what does she like? No, I didn't change my mind. If they say, oh, another one or something to that effect, it means you've already given them a gift, and giving them one doesn't do anything. It doesn't increase your friendship points, so there's really no need to give them anything. So I was looking at this and saying, okay, do I want to buy more? And yes, I do. I can now order premium boxes. So anything under 20, I'm going to start ordering. Just to kind of, you can order everything if you want, but I wanted to go ahead and get that ordered because we use quite a bit of the Bowing Nancy, and I'm not finding it as much in the wild. I'm not exploring enough in the right places to be able to look at that. We've made 23 already today, and we bought a bunch of stuff. And look at that. Lucy Arrow's relationship has gone from red to neutral. So that's a really good thing. I was very, very happy to see that that had gone up. So what I had thought was probably correct in that I needed to make better friends with them, and we are working on it. And so look at this little guy here. Isn't he cute? Looks like a little gnome. I think he's cute. There's Ash kind of wandering around. And I want to make friends with Inkabod. We have not been very good friends with him. We only have the 2 out of the 4 hearts. So I don't know what he likes. I've been giving him strawberries and blueberries, and it seems to be, it's doing okay. I don't know what he loves. You know, I suppose I could go to a wiki and find out if it's even on there. But it seems to be working. So we're okay with, I don't know what the heck he was talking about. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? So it's like, okay, are we ready to buy this shop or not? I keep thinking about it. It's $500 at this location. It comes with all this stuff. And it's like one of each of the inventory items, basically, is what you get with it. And, but in my mind's eye, when I buy this shop, I want to make it a fish market. So I'm just really pondering this, and it's like, okay, $7.88, I have $2.88, and yes, we bought it. And it says you bought another shop. So you get a handbook again. It's basically the same thing as the previous handbook of the previous shop. It tells you about the reputation. It tells you about your employees. It tells you about specializations that you can get from Tirnanog. It tells you about the stats, speed, barter, charm, stamina, things that you want to look for in hiring employees, and pricing. Basically, if you're going to hire the employees, they're just going to price them at whatever, but you could do it yourself if you want. And so I have now purchased the general store. I'm so excited that this has finally happened. So I'm going to put from my inventory, stock the shelves with these fish that I've been collecting. I was thinking that, you know, some things I still need to go turn in to Twig, so I didn't want to give things away that I for sure knew. But I think I have plenty to be able to go ahead and get this store going. And even though I haven't made it specialization of a fish market, I want to start putting that on the shelves. So I could put other things on the shelves. I can put anything on the shelves of the general store. It's kind of an interesting shop to own. But when you specialize, though, supposedly we'll see those benefits when we do that. That'll be in an upcoming episode, so kind of keep an eye out on that. But for now, you can see, look at all these fish. And when the employee, once I hire the employees and they come in, they will stock the shelves from the inventory that I have put there. So, I mean, I could even put eggs, for instance. So I've been collecting eggs every time I walk by these chickens. I'm losing my thought. Every time I see a chicken walk by, they throw eggs at me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep some because I need them for cooking. But I'm also going to put them out because if they run out of fish, they have to have something. I'm also going to order these rabbit corn dolls. And what those are for helping you and your spouse have children. You can adopt them or you can have them on your own. So I'm ordering them so that I'll have them, so that after I marry my spouse, then I have corn dolls available to help us have children. So it basically, you'll see what happens. It's kind of it's a mini game that gets played. So you can see I have a negative profit of 29 because I purchased something. Now you can look through here and try to find your employees. Again, you kind of want these 4 attributes for the employees of this shop. And I'm looking at Inkabod. Look at him. He's got 15 barter. He's got 10 charm, 10 speed, and 11 stamina, so they don't get exhausted as much. So it's hard not to hire him. I mean, I want to, you can see everybody's red face. I don't know what happened there. I don't know when they changed that. I don't recall it being that way when I first started playing around with this game, but now everybody starts out very unhappy, and I don't know if that'll, by the time you're playing this, if you decide to play, I don't know if that's going to change again. Again, this game is constantly being improved. In fact, there's supposed to be a major update coming very soon that by the time you watch this may already have, where you can own a bar. Right now, it's just a blacksmith, an apothecary, or a general store, but they're going to be adding the ability to be a bar owner as well. And I have no idea how that's going to work. Be interesting to find out. So I'm trying to figure out, who do I want to hire? I mean, look at that. I mean, barter's good, charms down. So it's kind of like trying to find the right balance of all of those various attributes. And I also am not sure when I want to have my store open, because the general store, I mean, you can have it open all hours of the day, but when you specialize, it tells you what time of the day would be best for that particular kind of specialization that you choose. So a fish store, for instance, would have, it's best to have it open in the early morning hours. So I decided to hire Boots, and let's see, I'm thinking of like looking in advance. And by the way, you can click and drag down. I learned that. That's kind of like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So if you're going to have the fish store, then it's like, I don't know exactly what hours I want to have open. General store is different, but the fish store, you want to have early morning hours. And I just don't know if that's all I want or not. But we got Boots coming in. He'll be in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it'd be interesting to watch that inventory change over, because there's only one thing of everything in the inventory, and once that sells, then the employee restocks with the items that are on your shelf. So I had seen this guy, Ian Livingston. I had not met him yet, so I ran over to him real quick. I wanted to try and meet everyone, even though I haven't been to their cities yet. So I saw him. I thought, oh, say hi to him. And man, does he just go on and on and on. Some of these I'll read them as time permits, but he was just kind of rambling on. He was kind of an interesting character. Yeah, I'll see you later. And look at that. He's already got 2 heart friendships, so that's kind of cool. So we're making progress. So there's Ichabod down there. So hope you don't feel too bad about not having a job at this time. He was complaining that he didn't want to be working in a shop, if I do recall. So anyway, we're going to be focusing as much as possible on getting as many fish as we can, and to make sure that we have inventory. So that's one reason why that I've been stocking up on the fish. I could put anything on the shelves. Let's say if I run out, I don't have as much fish, or I've not been fishing, I can put anything on the shelves that I want right now. Well, you can at any time, I guess. When you specialize, it says your customers are more likely to buy whatever item you have specialized in. And there's many things that you can choose. So for example, if I choose fish market, then it'll say that your customers are more likely to buy fish in your store. So it's an interesting game mechanic. I don't really 100% understand it yet, and I don't know that anyone really does, based on the comments that I'm seeing on the Discord channel. And just so that you know, in the description of my videos, I have links to things that can help you. In this particular case, I'm talking about the Discord channel. There is a link to the official Discord channel. And not only are the devs on there when they're wonderful and they're happy to answer questions when they can, there's also a wonderful community there of people that are more than willing to help answer questions and help. There's like general questions. There's things that are considered spoilers, meaning it's, things that you wouldn't, it's not generally known, secrets and things like that, because there's a lot of people that are far, far, far into this game, and some people wouldn't want those things spoiled, so they're in a spoiler section, there's a general section, there's questions sections, there's lots of things to help you be able to understand this game, and as much as it's understood. There's lots of times I see questions being asked and nobody knows the answers because we're still learning it. So I had seen these fish over here, and I thought, oh, I really want to see if I can get these guys. I'm going to be doing that as much as possible so we can keep that general store stocked. And as you can see, I didn't use all of my money. I still have, a river trout, cool. I still have over 200 of money left, and that will help as far as paying the employees. Just in case the shop is losing money, you need to have enough to pay your employees. So obviously my apothecary, it hasn't lost money a single day so far, and hopefully the same will be for my general store. If I order stuff, like I just ordered a whole bunch of those corn doll things, so obviously it's showing a loss for today, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, how much are we going to sell? So it's an interesting store. I don't know that anybody's done anything else with it. I've heard people talking about having like a bakery or something. So there's all kinds of options and things. It all depends on how you want to play. So I love that about this, is you don't have to do this at all, but it certainly gives you good reputation points. So as we'll see, we'll get a weekly letter that gives us our update on our shops and how they're doing. It tells you how much reputation that you get. And it really helps if you're trying to get your, like right now I'm at level 2, which is considered a novice. And so that's one way to get reputation. And as you can see, when I went to that map, I still have not found all of the map stones in this map. I have really got a lot of work to do to get these maps opened up all the way, and it's definitely something I like to do. Plus I love the satisfaction of when you hit one of those stones. Look at, I just noticed there that there is a recipe, right, or not a recipe, a proverb right up and to the left of where I'm standing. I saw that suggested on a playthrough that I had seen where someone said it's much easier to see the proverbs at night because they sparkle like that. And so you can certainly see them a lot better. I've probably walked by this I don't know how many times, and I didn't see it. And so it definitely helps you find some of those 900 proverbs. I mean, I can't believe how many proverbs there are. That was an estimate that I heard that someone who had played early access, and I don't know if they heard it from the devs or where they heard it from, but there's over 900 proverbs, which is insane. And you can see when I was playing this, I missed it. And it's so embarrassing to share that with you that I missed it when I was actually playing it. Obviously, I'm talking about this after the fact, but it is embarrassing to me that I didn't catch that, and it was sitting there sparkling right in my face. But I was very focused on the fish, or who knows, I mean, I was focused on my cats that were running around. I have no idea what I was focused on. So it's easy to miss, and I don't feel too bad about that. One of the playthroughs that I've watched, oh good, I finally found the map stone for this area. I love that feeling. It's like boom. One of the other playthroughs that I was watching, the streams, that's where the person that I had originally learned this game from, I was really happy to see that she's like a superpower gamer. I mean, she has played through a huge amount of content in this game with her first character in a very, very short period of time. I mean, her children were, her in-game children, they grew up basically because she was getting stuff from Fairweather. But I don't know how many hours she had played. I don't think it was a whole lot. And she had gone through a ton of content. So to me, she was kind of an advanced player. She was still missing things like proverbs, walking by them and things like that. So I didn't feel so bad when I missed proverbs and things that are right in front of my face because I've seen other people do it. So it's just embarrassing when I look back and, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. I feel so stupid. But it's okay. We all do it. I bet anybody who plays and watches their recordings of their plays would be horrified to see those mistakes that they made. Now, maybe I make more than others. I don't know. But I did see that proverb over there, and I'm so glad that I did. It's like, oh, how embarrassing. And I can't see where I'm walking. It's so dark. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, look at this. Ooh, a recipe. Wow. We're really hitting some stuff here today. This is awesome. So we hadn't been around this area very well. So it's turned over the next day now. And so it gave us our next task for the marriage ritual, and it popped up. And because I had made it, I mean, you can make things both on your that or way, but you can also have them show on your screen. So I've got the marriage ritual highlighted on my screen, and when it turned midnight, it told me my next task, which is to pick 3 charm weed. So we have to go where charm weeds are located and pick 3 of them. That is our task that we need to do next in the marriage ritual. And so I find that the marriage ritual is kind of neat. It's it's unlike other games that I've seen where it's like we're going to decide to get married, and some of them, I mean, it's so minimal. For instance, the like I'm comparing, this game is often compared to Stardew Valley. So if you think about that, it's kind of really similar, but it in other ways it's not, because it's got 7 days to prepare for it. So it's kind of cool, I think, anyway. It's getting kind of late, so I thought, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't see at all. And so, but it doesn't stop me at all from wanting to fish, especially since I'm trying to stock my store now. It's like, okay, I'm like, oh, look at that, a moonfish. Oh, yeah. So, and you start fishing after midnight like that, you have a chance to get moonfish. They sell for quite a bit, too. So I just get really excited when I get the moonfish, even though I can't see at all what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I can't even get my rod in the water here, but I know they're there. It's like, where are you guys? I know there's some there. It's like, come on, little fishies, come get my fishing rod. Or let's give up and go elsewhere. So basically what I was looking for is checking the map for any potential fishing spots that I could grab some fish. So I'll be kind of focusing on that to make sure that I'm nice and stocked up in the store. And so this is Candlewitch West, which is the area right to the left of the village, which is where my shop is. So I was kind of looking, saying, all right, are there any places? I know that there's this bridge over here, and I really I like to try to catch the fish. There's some right here before the bridge. So it looks like I got one, just a weed skimmer, but hey, like I said, they don't sell for much, but I like to have at least some stock of some kind in my shop. So the higher, I think we'll make more money on the higher fish, the more uncommon fish, but at least for now, we can grab what we can get so that we have something on the shelves. And like I mentioned before, if we don't have enough fish, we could put other things. You could put anything, eggs, ingredients, baked, cooked foods, things like that. You can put anything like that, or you can just order the traditional stock. That I think there was like a flour, a ball, glass jars, like those things that we saw when we purchased the shop, an effigy. You can order all those things. They're on the list of ordering materials, I think it says. So you can order that stuff if you want, or you can just stock it with anything else you want. So it's kind of an interesting store. I think we'll have some fun with it and kind of go from there. And of course, we're crossing a bridge, and it's like, yeah, oh, an eel. Okay, we'll take that. I don't know what they sell for, but we'll find out. And I guess the eels show up along these river areas at the early morning hours, it seems like. So I'm like, okay, we'll just get as many as we can while we're headed home. It's 4 a.m. and it's getting close to when we need to be home. As I started to mention before, and again, I get so sidetracked because there's so many things that happen. I do like to try to sleep at home for 2 reasons. It does save the game immediately, no matter what time it is. It'll save automatically by itself at 6 a.m. if you don't do anything. But say if I go home at 7 a.m. and I sleep for an hour, it saves it right then. It also helps me to remember to feed that brownie bowl. Not feeding that brownie bowl is a very bad thing, because Pot takes care of your property. He's taking care of any children that come. He does some minimal other things, but if you don't feed that brownie bowl, then he stops doing things, and it can have some serious problems, like your apples will be rotten on your trees, and your children won't learn, or what. I don't remember what all of the bad things were that would happen if you don't feed that brownie bowl. So be sure that you do. And the way I remind myself is I will go and sleep for just 1 hour, no matter what time it is when I get home. So it kind of prompts my memory of a routine. Let's go get something in that brownie bowl. So again, in the very first episode, you are told what happens if you don't feed the brownie bowl. So then you can see right there, it auto-saved. It's 6 a.m. It auto-saved. So because I want to remind my own self, then I will, go sleep for an hour, no matter what time. And then I saw, oh my gosh, look at these fish over here. I forget to come over here sometimes. And look at this, a 2-star pike. Awesome. And there was only maybe 2 or 3 fish in here, so we'll take them. And look at that, I got a double. That's fantastic. I got very excited about that. So that's because I have increased spawn rate. As my goddess my goddess blessing or whatever, a boon, I guess I call it a boon. So I have increased fish right now. So later on, I'll need to choose something else that will not give me that. But when I'm not choosing, what the different, you have it less, children are less likely, I think it is the curse on that. Well, if you're wanting children, you obviously can't have increased fish, which it's, so I have to get as many as I can for now, because when you won't believe the difference when you don't have that particular boon. Now you still get fish, but if you have children, more likely you have decreased fish. So there's 3 levels. There's increased, there's normal, and decreased. So when you're trying for children, you got to get the decreased, and they are definitely decreased. You don't get double fish like I just got, and the ponds and rivers and lakes have lots and lots less fish available. So I thought I would check in with Twig just to make sure. I thought I had some of the ones that he's looking for, and I do. I've got 5 salmon finally. So we're going to get something now. What do we get? Attract fish from further away when rippling. So don't trust anyone who tells you they sell magic bait, guaranteed catches. They'll say attracts all species like a magnet. They'll add, here comes that idiot Twig who always buys my rubbish. They'll mutter, well, I'm on to them now. Yeah, I figured out that the stuff they sell is magic, all right. It just ain't bait. What it does is it sends mental messages to the fish and convinces them you're not to be trusted. That's why I always wear this hat now. Oh my gosh. Tells them I'm all right, see? Oh, Twig is a little off, wouldn't you say? Oh my heavens. This is too funny. All right, so it looks like that we have also the pike that we needed, and all we're missing now, we've already got all of those, and we got the river trout, and we're missing, I think those are minnows, a silver scale. That's what they are. 2-star silver scale is what we need. So we'll get there. I just need to keep reminding myself to come see him when I think I have stuff, and you can check this. Also, there's a menu item that you can check and see. So we're just kind of cranking them in here. So the thing that I did was, going to see Twig, I now know that everything that's currently in my inventory can be sold, because I don't have any of the things that I needed for the next level. So we'll get there. I'm not in any rush. So that's kind of cool. So because I had not slept, I'm going to go home and sleep, and that's going to end our episode for today. Thank you for following along. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. It makes YouTube like me better, and it lets me know that I'm doing something that other people find interesting or valuable. And also, if you like my videos, please just give it a like for the same reasons. But really, the most important thing is I want you to have a wonderful rest of your day.